it's Native Robin again, and today we're going to use some of those peppers in that pepper garden. I'm going to make some great summer salsa that you can put up easily, and I'm going to show you some fancy doodads I got at the store. Check it out. I like this recipe because it takes a very simple combination of red and green tomatoes. I grew some orange ones, and I thought I would include those for extra color and just to look really cool. It's going to take 4 to 5 pounds of tomatoes that have been chopped and seeded. As far as the peppers go, we're going to use chili hots, some chili reds, jalapeanos, sweet banana. These are garden salsa, pepperoncini, and super serranos. I've got a little bit of Thai dragons, a couple little tabascos that were ready, and some various bells up here that are kind of unique. I got a purple bell, a chocolate, and a yellow. Well, greenish yellow. It ain't quite ready, but it looks good. And of course, it's going to take 1 pound of a sweet onion. I also picked up some fresh cilantro from the store. And we're going to start by chopping up these peppers. But the important thing to remember is I kind of keep the sweet peppers in my garden separate from the hot peppers. That way I know that, hey, if the recipe calls for 1 habanero, I might be able to throw in 3 or 4 other substitutes that would equal that. So it helps me keep it straighter. So I got sweet peppers and hot peppers. We don't want to make it so hot that the average person can't eat it, although I like mine hot. So let's start chopping this stuff up. As far as the non-pepper items, we're going to have salt, black pepper, 5% vinegar, or white vinegar, 5% acidity, 6-ounce can of tomato paste, some parsley flakes, and some cumin. I'm also going to add some garlic, 4 cloves of garlic, and I've got a little garlic press to get it really fresh, so that ought to be really good. So let's start this project, and I'll start cutting things up and we'll talk about what we're doing. From a previous video, I had someone suggest that I put a mat under my cutting board. So I got a nice little mat here, and look, it tastes pretty darn good. So that'll be a big help. As I cut the tops and the bottoms off, if I have any bad spots, I cut the core out, and then I just quarter them, because it said to seed them. So then I can just take it to the sink and swish the seed, get the seeds out. Just like that. Just rinse the seeds out, and then from there I can just chop them on up. I like my salsa to be a little chunky. So I'm not going to use the food processor. I'm just going to chop these things up, because when you cook them, they get more chopped up. They kind of fall apart and stuff anyway. So don't go to the store and buy your stuff, or weigh your stuff before you take the seeds out and clean it and all that, because then you're not gonna have enough. You're gonna be short. Just kind of loosely chop them up, get them in that salsa. I drop them in my bowl that's setting up. It's my scale. So I'll cut these up and I'll get right back to you. To cut the bell peppers and the sweet bananas and the mild peppers, you're fine to do it with your bare hands. But to cut the chilies up, wear gloves. It's cheap and expensive gloves. You get that oil that's in the peppers, the capsaicin oil, on your skin, and it will burn, burn, burn. And then, Lord forbid, don't touch your eyes or anything like that. So wear gloves, save yourself some pain, to cut anything up that's got hotness to it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up some chilies, some of the hot cherries, and even my serrano. So we'll take a look here in just a little bit. We're getting closer. Okay, so if you ever wondered what 5 pounds of chopped up tomato looks like, I've got my green, red, and yellow tomatoes chopped up. 4 to 5 pounds on the recipe. I'll put the whole recipe in the description of the video. We'll say that some people like to peel the tomatoes but I kind of like the skins on them. You can also puree them to get a more smoother type of salsa. I kind of like my salsa a little bit chunky. So now that we got the tomatoes done, it's time to add the chili. Now, it calls for approximately 1 pound of a chili combination made up of a couple of jalapeanos and the sweets and the bell peppers and things. I'll chop them all up and show you what they look like all put together. The secret is don't make it too hot or you won't be able to eat it. Alright, once you've got everything chopped up, you got to include 4 cloves of garlic minced up. I'm going to use a garlic press for those. You're going to take the juice from 1 whole lime and also some zest off the skin and put that in. And we're going to put it on the stove here and get it going and get it boiling for about 10 minutes. And then we're going to put in the sauce, do that for 10 minutes. And the last thing, the cilantro, fresh cilantro, and let that go for 10 minutes. And then we'll ladle it into hot jars and get it going. So, on the garlic clove, you put a clove in the press. Put the little gizmo on here and give it a good squeeze. You can just smell the fresh garlic. Good. We're going to do that to 4 altogether. Okay, we're going to put everything in the pot but the paste, the tomato paste and the cilantro, and we're going to get it boiling and let it simmer for 10 minutes. Okay, we're finally getting to a boil here. This was all the ingredients but the paste and the cilantro. So I'm going to let this simmer for 10 minutes and then I'm going to put the paste in, let that simmer for 10 minutes, and then we'll put the cilantro in for 10 minutes and then we can ladle them into hot jars. Okay, while we're waiting on that to simmer, I got some really cool doodads I want to show you to help me out. Okay, locked away in storage was my hot jar remover, but I found this new one from Ball, rubber handles, spring loaded. How about that? My old one used to have just old-fashioned wooden handles on it. This has got little grippies. It's really, really nice. A funnel for putting into the jars, putting the stuff in the jars. A collapsible funnel. Takes up less room in the drawer now. Put that in the jar, fill it up. And last but not least, my little magnet. I can get those lids now out of that boiling water without burning myself or scratching up my pan or trying to get a little knife in there or however, because you know they stick together. Just as an added bonus, I noticed they also had some adhesive labels that kind of were, just give it that extra special touch. All in all, my little doodads were less than 20 bucks, but they'll last me a lifetime, and they kind of make the job just a little easier. Okay, we've been going for 10 minutes here. Let's spoon in the paste. 6 ounces of tomato paste. Now we'll let that cook for another 10 minutes. Then we can add the cilantro. Looks like we're ready for the cilantro. Pour it in. Give it a little stir. Now you don't want to leave this on too long with this because the cilantro will just kind of cook down to nothing. 5-10 minutes just to let it get that good flavor all in there. And we'll be ready to ladle into hot jars. Okay, we're all ready to ladle in the salsa into the hot jars and get them in the bath. So let's get started. you want to fill these up just to where the jar curves in, right up here. You don't want to get anything on the rim of the jar, so before you put the lids on, wipe them off real careful. I'm going to use my little magnet. Get me a lid. And get them in the hot water. Okay, once you get all the jars in the canner, lid screwed on tight, you want to get your water good and hot in the canner. When you put the jars in, you want to make sure that they're covered with water, and we want to get a good boil for about 15 minutes, and that should do it. Okay, well, they've been in there 15 minutes boiling. Take the lid off here. See if I can't get one out. Here we go. Not bad looking jar of salsa. Well, we got through our salsa, and I gotta decide just how I'm gonna label these things with these new fancy labels I got. So I had a little bit left over that I thought I'd try. So I'm gonna have to get the official taste to see if it's gonna be mild, medium, or hot.
Oh, jeez.
Has a nice sweet, nice sweet flavor with a a nice hot kick at the end. Definitely gonna be hot. I'm gonna post the basic recipe on my description of the video. And keep in mind, if you want it hotter, hit it with a couple of extra hot peppers. If you want it milder, lighten the hot, throw in some more sweet bananas and bell peppers and stuff. But that's how I do summer salsa. Hope you enjoyed the video, but until next time, this is Native Robin saying, happy trails.